ABC Kinder Teach presents Little Red Sleigh, written by Aaron Guendelsberger, illustrated by Elizaveta Tretyakova. In a quiet corner of a cozy Christmas shop, there was a little red sleigh as bright as Christmas morning. She wasn't very big and she wasn't very fast, and she was very young for a sleigh. But deep inside her strong, sweet heart, Little Red had a big dream. I wonder what kind of dream a red sleigh might have, especially around Christmas time. She longed to become Santa's big red sleigh. Wow, she seems pretty small for that, but maybe she'll get bigger, maybe. Everyone in the shop told Little Red that her dream would never come true. It was impossible. She was too small, too slow, and much too young. She couldn't fly, they said, and so how could she possibly be Santa's sleigh? Little Red wondered if these things might be true. Was she too small? Too slow? Too young? But she believed deep in her heart, which means she really believed, she could fly. Through the sky she would soar like a bird. She could learn anything. She could be anything. And this Christmas she was going to prove it. She would travel to the top of the world, find Santa Claus, and show everyone what she was made of. So, as winter fell, Little Red went north. So she's going to try to find Santa and the North Pole. You think she's going to be able to do that? Her journey or trip was very difficult. She dragged herself through mud and grime. Grime is caked on dirt. She crossed rickety bridges, or bridges about ready to break, and braved treacherous paths. Braved means did something without showing fear, and treacherous just means dangerous. Soon she started to worry she wouldn't make it to the North Pole before Christmas. Wait a minute, she is worried about making it to the North Pole, and look, there's a train. Maybe the train might help her? Well, let's see. Then she found some train tracks. "Where are you headed?" asked a friendly train. "The North Pole," said Little Red. "Off to see the big man, huh? Well, climb aboard," puffed Train. So Train is giving her a ride. And the big man is, yes, of course, Santa Claus. Little Red hopped onto the train and they chugged quickly down the line. "You have so many cars," Little Red said. "I wish I were as big and fast as you." So she wants to be big and fast like the train. "I wasn't always so big or so fast," said Train. "When I started out, I had just 2 stock cars." And a stock car is a train car that carries animals like cows. "I worked up and down these tracks," which means he went back and forth, "for a long time before they gave me a third car. Then I earned a 4th, a 5th, and so on." So over time, the train got stronger and was able to pull more and more cars. "Oh, I can't wait to be as big as you," said Little Red. Train laughed. "Be patient, little sleigh. Life builds up one car at a time. So he's telling the little sleigh that be patient, that you'll get bigger over time, just like he was able to get bigger and pull more little train cars. As they steamed north, which means they traveled north, the ground gradually changed, or changed a little bit at a time, from softly rolling hills, hills that were not steep, to vast or very large icy mountains. After many, many miles, train slowed down and stopped at a station. Are they at the North Pole, I wonder? "This is as far as I go," he said, "but over that ledge you'll find Yellow Truck, who can help you go farther." "Oh, thank you," said Little Red. So the train made it to the end of the tracks, I think, and then he tells the Little Red Sleigh to go find the Yellow Truck because the Yellow Truck can take it further. As she slid over the hill, she saw a bright yellow truck loaded with Christmas trees. "Hello," said the Little Red Sleigh. "Can you show me the way to the North Pole?" "Happy to," Yellow Truck said. "I'm heading that way myself to deliver these Christmas trees to the big man, Santa Claus. Hop on." Well, that was really nice of that Yellow Truck. In the truck, Little Red snuggled between trees, surrounded by the sweet scent of pine. Yellow Truck drove down a narrow road, rounding curves, dodging holes, and gliding smoothly over bumps. "Wow," said Little Red. "I wish I could drive like you do." "Well, now," Yellow Truck said, "I wasn't always so. Used to be, no one thought I could make deliveries. Then one winter I took a load of trees up north. It was just a few. But the next time I got more trees, then more and more. Life seems to build up one tree at a time." So he's telling him the same thing that the train did, which means, just give yourself time. You'll get bigger and better as you get a little bit older. That afternoon, snow began to fall. Ice covered the roads. Yellow Truck's tires slipped and slid. His windshield wipers ran faster and faster as the snow fell harder and harder. "Oh, we have to pull over," hollered Yellow Truck. Little Red could barely hear him through the whipping wind. She closed her eyes and held tight. She feared that if she flew off, she would be lost. Then she would never find the North Pole. Uh-oh, do you think she's going to fall off? I hope not. When they stopped, Little Red carefully opened her eyes. Snow was still swirling, but through it she saw lights twinkling red, green, blue, and white. Was this the North Pole? Had they finally made it? "Do you see Santa Claus?" asked Little Red. She strained her eyes but could see nothing through the blur of falling snow. It was hard to see because the snow was so heavy. "I'm sorry," said Yellow Truck. "We didn't make it to the North Pole. We'll have to stay here until the storm lets up." So it got to be so snowy that they had to stop. Little Red nestled deep, which means she got comfortable deep inside into the bed of Christmas trees, thankful for the shelter or a place to stay away from all the cold weather. But as she watched the snow pile up and up, her heart felt heavy, which means she felt very sad. She'd come so far, and it was nearly Christmas. How would she ever get to the North Pole now? Little Red fell asleep, sniffling and wishing for Santa. Do you think she makes it to the North Pole? We'll have to wait and see. In the morning the sun rose high and bright. The storm was over. "Happy Christmas Eve," Little Red said. "Will we get moving soon to deliver the trees in time?"
"Afraid not," said Yellow Truck. "My tires are stuck tight. I can't go anywhere today, but you should take a look at the town. I'll keep an eye on you from here. You never know what you'll find when you look around someplace new."
Little Red thanked Yellow Truck and slid off the trees, out of the back and down the street. She hadn't gone very far when a pair of mittened hands suddenly picked her up. Oh, it must be this girl.
"Oh, wow, a sleigh!"
A little girl in a purple parka hugged Little Red to her chest and held on tightly as she ran down the street and up to the top of a hill. The girl sat on Little Red, and then Little Red was just the right size for the little girl. Together they flew down the hill again and again, sledding through the snow. Soon other children joined in. Little Red played all day, helping each child soar through the air, watching their faces light up with joy, which means with happiness. "This is what it feels like to fly. I am doing it," said Little Red, her heart bursting with pride, which means feeling good about herself. At supper time, the girl in the purple parka brought Little Red back home. When Little Red closed her eyes that night, at the end of Christmas Eve, she felt like she was still flying, which means she was feeling really good about herself. The next day, on Christmas morning, Little Red woke up and sighed. She hadn't made it to the North Pole, she hadn't met Santa Claus, and now it was too late. Little Red was so disappointed. She started to cry, but then she noticed a small red envelope tucked beside her. It was addressed to her. It says, "Little Red Sleigh."
"Dear Little Red, Christmas is a time for giving. Each year I deliver treasures to children around the world, hoping to bring them joy or happiness. But sometimes I need a little help. Yesterday you delivered Christmas joy to many children. Thank you so much. You made each of those children very happy, and you did it just by being yourself. You are a very special sleigh indeed. I could really use someone like you up here in the North Pole. As a special thank you, you are cordially, which means warmly, invited to visit me in the North Pole next year as we prepare for the holiday. Merry Christmas. Love, Santa Claus."
Little Red couldn't believe her eyes. The North Pole with Santa Claus. Her dream had come true. Just then, the little girl in the purple parka bounded down the stairs, or came down fast. Little Red was ready. At last she understood what she was meant to do. She would build her life up, spreading joy or making other people happy, one child at a time. So she realized that what she wanted to do with the rest of her life was to make other people happy. What a nice thing for her to do. Merry Christmas!